them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Another day, another episode. We're going to have quite a bit of topics today. A lot of weird stuff is happening in the gaming industry. A lot of products being announced. A lot of stuff going on. So we got quite a bit of topics for you guys today. But before we get started, I want to ruin the surprise. Jalen and Josh, I want to update the people, talk about what's going on, what you're playing, what you've been up to, how's life is treating you. Let's get this pod introduced.
Well, we actually got to play the game a little bit this week.
Overwatch 2.
We don't normally do. And yeah, last week Overwatch was on fire, like literally, so we couldn't play the game. But yeah, it's been pretty good for me. The family's doing well, trying to get adjusted to like the new baby life. But ironically, it's like I have less time to sleep, but since I'm up, I kind of get to play the game a little bit more, just at like weird times. Yeah, and then else new. I ain't played nothing new. Waiting for a couple games. One game I was looking forward to is definitely not a buy anymore. Which we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, you said nothing really been playing outside of Overwatch 2, right? You ain't really playing much. Yeah.
Just the same old, trying to finish these battle passes so I can move on to something else.
Yeah, battle pass is another interesting topic we're gonna talk about. Jalen, what you been playing? What you been up to? How's life in Chicago?
This week went by kind of quick, but I ain't really been playing nothing. Was able to get some games in on Overwatch 2, so that was smooth. Found out I'm cheeks on that game now. I'm like, so that's not smooth. I'm like, man, I gotta get my Ash aim back, bro. But I mean, I got tired of hearing me talking about Ash, but now I gotta get my aim and stuff back right on that game. Still playing that Emerald Kaizo version. Trying to think. But no, that's really about it. I had something else I wanted to say, but it slipped my mind. So, but other than that, everything I've just been chilling. Another day, another dollar, working and stuff like that. So, not a whole lot going on.
He's full-fledged in their work life, guys. It's gonna get even more interesting when you're like, bro, what am I even doing? He's like, no.
I'm already thinking I'm like 40 hours a week, kind of ghetto, bro. I'm like 40 hours a week. I need to spend at least 40 hours. 8 hours a day.
And now you got money to waste on these video games.
Yeah, now you got money to waste.
Oh, that's the thing, bro. Yeah. I'm like, I need 56 hours.
How much for that skin? I guess.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's like 40, and you thought I was going to spend that. Yeah, all right. Still ain't finna buy no skins. I got Xbox money that I still ain't even used yet. I bought a $10 gift card. I still ain't put that in, bro. I put that in like, I bought that like a couple months ago. Didn't use that. I got like $15, $20 of Xbox money. I just been sitting on that. I still ain't used. I'm like, bro, I need to get accustomed to these microtransactions because the money needs to be spent.
Yeah, you good.
I might do it on Overwatch.
You good. Hold on to it. You can stockpile it. You can buy the battle pass with it for sure. Obviously, if you wanted it.
Nah, I'm gonna get Ash skin, bro.
At least it's like, if you buy it on a Microsoft console, you still can be able to use it on the Xbox. I mean, on the PlayStation, stuff like that. If you wanted to continue on your PlayStation, because obviously, Overwatch, when you get an achievement, they boot your console, they reboot you, man. I don't know what the heck is up with that. Overwatch 2 has had so many problems, but one of them was the Xbox. When you get an achievement, They literally kick you out the game. So if you're achieving something and you're actually doing something right, you get rewarded with a boot. But yeah, I've been anything else, Jalen, before I go into me, what I've been up to.
Uh, Nothing for. Oh, no, I started back. One of my friends, he keep trying to get me to hoop and stuff, so I actually been
Getting back
hooping and stuff a
active.
lot more. And he actually had a basketball game this past week. I'm looking like, man, they're really getting he been successful with it, man. Because I've been on the fence about hooping and stuff, but I'm like, I'm glad that he doing it. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I've been playing Overwatch 2. I played a little bit of Apex Legends. And I haven't really played much else. I've been trying to finish SpongeBob, Battle for Bikini Bottom. I don't know. Like I said, I've been playing that for a little bit off and on the Steam Deck. Uh, and I recently just, had got a bunch of technology because I got the new Pixel 7 Pro and the Google Watch, which um, at the time of this recording, I just launched my little first impressions. If you guys are interested in seeing that, but yeah, I've just been working, playing the game, messing with the new stuff, the new tech that came out, and
mm.
just been
How long
following
before
up
they
with other
cancel the
stuff.
watch?
I hope not. I hope they don't. I mean, this one here, a brief synopsis of it. The battery isn't the greatest, but it charges really, really fast. It's not standard for these watches to charge in like 15 to 30 minutes. Like you can go from 0 to 60% in like 15 minutes. And then like at 28 minutes, you're at 100. So like literally they will last you all day. And if you just charge it for a couple minutes when you first get home, maybe when you're, eating or whatever, you could literally have enough to get through the sleep through the night and still have a lot of juice in the morning. I haven't charged this thing yet, and I'm sitting at 39%. So it's like the battery is sufficient. And I say you have workarounds, but it's the first generation. So it has first generation kinks that need to be worked out. It's only one face. It's only one size. I got a big arm. I like a bigger size. So small things like that. But overall, at least it's not Stadia. At least this product seems as if it's going to be around, and hopefully they continue to improve it because they have a lot of this. They have a lot of cohesion and like how you say, it's all coming together now. The Pixel Buds, the Pixel Watch, the Pixel Pro, like they're making their ecosystem. They already had all the tools to beat or to match Apple. Is now they have the product that's also helping to match their quality, because it was always this weird space where everything was so different, and now that Google has created their own product, they can create that cohesion that we all enjoy. Sometimes, I mean, I don't like to be boxed in with Apple stuff. Y'all know how it is with Apple. You kind of have one way or no, but at least they're creating that system for them as well. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to, reviewing that and stuff, and trying to raise my kids and stay on task and make sure I'm doing everything at the job. So just been me chilling. But yeah, let's talk about some games. Games. I like games. That's what you want me to say. I like games. So let's talk about them. First off, it's not really a game, but it's a product. I wanted to talk through the MetaQuest Pro. The MetaQuest Pro is basically their geared product towards the pro VR user and AR user. It's more so probably meant for businesses. than gaming. They did talk a lot about gaming during the presentation, but at the same time, wasn't felt like it was geared towards a gamer. It is probably a much better equipment and everything like that, but I really feel like they wanted this to be a buy-in, like from these businesses that they want people to actually purchase, and I don't know if that's going to work. So the MetaQuest Pro, for Jalen's sake, in case he didn't know, or anyone out there that didn't know what this product is, it's basically the Oculus, which is now called the Oculus Quest. This is like their new version they just announced.
I guess the third Quest.
Yes,
they just dropped 2.
Yes, it's the Oculus Quest and Oculus Quest 2, now the Oculus Quest Pro. They're also talking about the 3, which is going to be much more cost efficient and not expensive, but the Quest Pro is meant for that, like I said, the higher end user, the businesses. This thing here is quite expensive. It is literally $1,500. I knew there was going to be a price hike. I just didn't know it was going to be this bad. Like, this is obviously this is like state of the art technology. I don't want to put a number on how much this stuff costs to make or to be even used properly. But what I do know is that $1,500 is a lot to spend on a niche, especially when you yourself have created a space where it's a race to the bottom. Like, you're now like, it just feels like the messaging is all off, and it feels like most people are going to just request these same features to come to the more cheaper product, and that's going to be the Quest 3. And I don't know what business is going to get duped into thinking that this $1,500 product was worth the money, especially when most of their hardcore niche followers are going to try to force their hand to put some of this technology into Quest 3 and just look for reiterations down that line from there. So this product, 1, feels premature, 2, feels very much too expensive, and 3, has no market right now. It really is the trifecta of loss. I don't see the gain they had of announcing this. And I don't know whether or not it was smart on their part.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts, Jalen? Josh, what do you guys think about VR or this product itself? Would you ever try
I think there is a space for like I had the Quest 1, and it's still a pretty good device. I enjoyed it when I had it. The main thing was like it's a novel. I want to say it's a novelty because some of the games are fun, but for me it's a novelty because I even like the games I really did like on it. I'm not going to spend like a lot of time playing them. Like if I had the choice to go in VR, but also do like a regular, just play with a controller, I would do that. Maybe I'll try out the VR at certain points, but I just don't like playing the whole thing like that. So anyways, with these other devices, like they're getting better technology. But the same thing is that I don't see myself spending more money for the same experience. I would rather, it got cheaper and better, or stayed around the same price, but just got better, and then maybe I'll be interested in it.
Yeah.
And so, and even like the most high end one, which was like $1,000, which was the Steam Index.
Yep.
Like, I honestly, if I was like in that market, I probably would still be looking towards the Steam one, just because like their ecosystem is just like the best overall ecosystem, in which, Meta, they're getting really good exclusives. Like they had the Resident Evil VR game, but I don't know. I don't feel like I can trust Meta to like continuously update and support all their games like the best they can.
Absolutely.
Because like, yeah.
And like the
So yeah,
biggest
it's a lot of
feature,
money, and when you're spending that much money, you got to take that stuff into consideration. Where if it was like $200, whatever, I'll buy it, put a couple of games on there, and if it doesn't, pan out, then I ain't lose that much.
right? But this is like a large investment. This is game changing, and it's back compatible with all of their old Quest stuff, and I'm assuming it has technology that's going to allow it to use the Oculus Link to link it to a Steam like your PC, but um, it's $1,500, and you're trusting that this company and developers that are making games solely for this experience are going to continue to push things and try to push the envelope. I just don't think we were there to the point where the transition was time for the transition. Like, this probably will be a great product at some point. It's kind of like the Google lenses, like the glasses. Like, at some point, those are going to make a lot of sense for a lot of people. It's just not right now. And it just screams, just not right now, man. Like, all of it screams that. Um, has there ever been a product? Yeah, well, I guess there has. There's always been products that have been too early to adopt something. Like, even like the always online thing with Xbox. I mean, that's where everything was going towards anyway. But nobody wanted you to tell them to do something immediately. Just like no one
Yeah,
wants to be forced into receiving your technology as if it's a game changer. They have to find those moments where people start to see the benefit of things. And to force feed benefits to someone is kind of just like it's like the same thing where people come in and they try to reinvigorate the workforce by doing something. It's like it falls on deaf ears, and sometimes it's a miss. So what I would like for them to do is to continue to improve their technology. I think that this product is going to it's not going to sell well, but it may be something that like people would hold on to for a little bit, because I do feel like the technology is pretty strong, but there's going to be multiple reiterations of this, and there's going to be things that improve processes and processing power that's going to improve, and there's just not going to be a strong use case, to early adopt. And that's my concern. I'm not saying that the technology is broken. I'm not saying that it's not a good idea. I'm saying that the early adoption is what's going to make or break you, especially when you're spending a ton of money on trying to push this forward. It's not going to be a point where you hit that magical number or that magical outreach where you're going to cause the reality to shift in your favor. It's going to be a steady decline. And it's going to be that way for a good period of time. You may get something, you may catch, that Quest 2 was lightning in a bottle, like type of situation where it was a perfect moment, perfect solution for a perfect situation. Everyone's stuck at home. How do you interact with one another? VR. And that is a specific use case, and it was solved by a specific product. Now that we're back out in the world in reality, yes, people have adjusted to feeling more comfortable away from others, but that interaction is still needed and was surely missed. So you're gearing your entire company around creating that space. I think your metrics are off. I think your understanding of the world is off. And you really have to take a step back, pull yourself out of your own bubble, and really understand where we are. We're not in a space right now where luxury items are being pushed and are being bought often. We are technically in a recession, and people are being conscious of what they spend their money on. This product, obviously, you're always going to be products, recession or not. Companies got to do what they got to do, but this product here, this screams excessive, and it's never going to not until people find the primary use cases that are really strong that is going to make this product push. So that's my take on MetaQuest Pro. I am intrigued. I think the technology is amazing in some ways and like really weird in others. Them having the tagline of getting legs is a telltale sign that you're not doing the right things and you're not marketing to the right people. Because if you're telling me that legs was a big talking point for this expansive technology, legs were people requested the most, what is it truly geared towards? Is it geared towards a social experience? Then you shouldn't be spending $1,500 on that. So it just makes it's like really like poorly positioned, poorly put out there. It's just like a lot of misfires. So, but that's my take. Anything to follow? Anything to?
No, like there's always nice to have those high-end devices, but it's also the point where they're trying to get the device like more ubiquitous, more people to adopt it, more people to adopt it at work, and like buying. So like businesses buy in bulk anyway. So like we're gonna buy 500 VR headsets. Even though this new Quest Pro is like the best product, that is a lot more money, and it might be hard to justify. Even businesses that are interested in that type of stuff, they might just go with the cheaper, better like product because it offers better value. You're getting a much cheaper price, but still get to test out these new, fields that you're trying to get into in your business. So yeah, I see a hard time for this particular device. I think Facebook needs to focus on like getting it as cheap and as available as possible. Yeah.
Absolutely agreed. All right, if that's nothing else, let's move to Overwatch. Overwatch 2 is actually doing quite good. Overwatch 2 has reached 25 million players in its first 10 days. That's really good. It had a really bad launch, so that's even more amazing that they was able to get that much, experience. I hope this ain't being fudged by the DDoSing, but I would hope not. I think they're actually counting players. I think they're sophisticated enough to do that. And that's a pretty good number. My thing is, and that's where it ties back to my point about DDoSing and like all this stuff. What are they truly counting? Because every time I get into that game, I am searching for at least a minute and 30 seconds. And maybe that's just us, but Jalen, have you had an experience where you've gotten to a game matches pretty quickly on a day-to-day basis? Josh, have you had an experience where you were like back to back in matches? Because I know when we play together, it's like a minute and 30.
It depends on the time of day, and also like the role queue. I think takes a little longer because it's trying to like optimize the settings, Whereas if I just play like normal unranked quick play, like every time I click on that, it was like 20 seconds. But of course, it might depend on the time of day. But I will say that 20 million or 25 million or whatever is good. It doesn't mean that those people are still playing regularly. It's just those are the number of people that booted it up. And I think I had to look up the numbers. I think 25 million was what the original game sold in like its first few months. So
yeah, it was like 4 times the amount that they had adopted in the first few days. But again, this is free versus not free is a big something.
Yeah, how many people are actually still playing? How many people have spent money on it? Because I'm playing every day, but I haven't spent no money on it. So,
Right.
The success is going to vary, but at least I don't know, with it being free to play, and if people like it, they will show up. And that's what you always want for these type of games, is to get people to show up for your new events.
Oh yeah. So I mean that is the key, and it's kind of tied into the battle pass fatigue, which we're going to talk about. But Overwatch 2, at least it's showing that people were interested in this game. They were interested in wanting to play it. If this is something that does very well, it would help in, that succession planning for, or not succession plan, but the actual acquisition and stuff like that. I just think if it's a win for them, it would be a good win. I don't see why this game wouldn't be. What wouldn't have a continuous base, like, for real, because even though there's a lot of gripes with it right now, a lot of issues, it's still fun to play. And it's still fun to play on a casual basis. It's not even like you have to play it dedicated. You can play it on a casual basis and still enjoy yourself. There is the role playing, and have that, all that coming into play, and your experience is kind of gauged on whether or not your teammates are actually decent. That still has something to be worked on, but overall, my experience has been positive when I'm able to play. So I think last week we kind of talked about it, and we were all pretty much in the same, that Jalen couldn't play with Ash. It was merging account issues. There were stupid things that were just like causing us to not be able to play. And it's still, the Xbox thing is weird, but how has the experience gotten better over the last week or two for y'all? Or has it been like the same? Y'all just really haven't really seen like a big, huge change in like the experience?
I mean, I think it's still overall good for me. Because when they drop the updates, it's like at weird times for me. So I end up coming in after a lot of the issues have been fixed.
Mm-hmm.
I know the last update they dropped, it had introduced a lot of like latency for a lot of people. But I think that might be mostly taken care of. The main thing is that I actually have been able to play with y'all, because we was trying to coordinate, get some time in, and then we'll get on. And then Jalen, he's trying to sync his account, and it's taking, an hour. But once we actually got it all together, got all into the game, it's been running good for me. I think Jalen was telling me he had a couple gripes with a couple things, like he was trying to make use of his gold coins.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about the whole gold coins transition stuff.
Because they said they patched something to do with like gold coins not working for certain items, but I didn't look into it to actually see.
Yeah, I think I think we were talking about, adjusting the pricing and all of that good stuff, and how it would probably be beneficial, and they never get it right out the gate. And there's stuff like this been happening a long time, and their online system, and like Blizzard only having like online games. Yeah, I think I think that stuff can be worked on. It's unfair now, I feel like, for us to. It's unfair to me how much more accommodating gamers can be for crap games that come out in the bad states, because of like this online service always ready to fix patches and all that stuff. I found it unfair because it used to be where you had to, and I mean, it's obviously times change. it's just unfair to the people that had to dedicate their time to making sure that games shipped properly, to the people that can just kind of throw it out there, hope for the best, and then once the feedback truly comes in, they can get to work. It's unfair to the workers, and it's unfair because the workers literally, like, their game never stops having to, like, they don't have a true launch. They just have a day the servers log live, and then they have to fix stuff continuously throughout the entire time span. Like, I would hate to work on a live service game. I would rather work on like Red Dead Redemption 2, like storyline versus the online mode, or work on something that like literally has an ending, because I just feel like game development is already chaos, but then you have a game that is also constantly being developed on, and that experience to me feels like a rat race, like constantly. Like I'm always on a rat reel, like just trying to continuously push out good, stuff and make sure my game is optimized and running properly, and like updating it so people have fun with it. And I'm just like, yeah, this is dead. So, I don't know. I never actually just now thinking about how the developer would how would I even categorize myself as someone that don't want to work on online service games? Like, I would just have to say
Yeah,
that.
I
I
think
don't.
it's fair. Of course, it's like hard to say that you don't want to be a part of Destiny or or whatever, because it's like these are still popular games, and that even though it doesn't end, you could still have a good time working on
Yeah.
it. But I think the launches are always difficult because, like, I was thinking about that with like Overwatch 2. It's like, well, with all the stuff going wrong with it, it seems like, let's say the game is just an L and they
Mm-hmm.
wasted whatever they were doing making the game. But it's also not completely true. Like, the art team and the people balancing the characters, all this stuff, they still did a lot of work and it's still actually pretty fun. But
Mm-hmm.
since it's just like it all didn't come together, the launch has been like kind of like hard to be proud of the launch with, like, for some people maybe,
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I
but
think.
again, like you said, it's still better if the game comes together because, like, nobody made them launch. Like, they're their own publisher. They're a big company. They got their own money. So if they needed more time, they could have took it. But it's just they don't usually do that. They rather just put it out and then fix it over time.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think Overwatch 2 at least showing that they can keep an audience, or at least people are interested in there, shows me promise, because at the end of the day, we just want, I guess what I want is, more competitiveness in this space, but I want it to be the good type of competitiveness. I don't want it to be where everybody just becomes so complacent with, trash launches and poor updates, and you know like this right here just proves to me why I wait to play these types of free to play games sometimes, because most of the time they're either going to launch in a poor state, or they're going to be very popular where it causes it to be a problem issue anyway. So it happened with every game that we've played that launches like this. It's just there's no way to determine how much interest you're going to have in a free to play game on the day of. So there's like really hard to determine that, and obviously there's issues and attacks that can occur as well that can cause it to be poorly poorly done. So sometimes I
Yeah.
feel like it's at a detriment to them to notify people of the launch date. Maybe it's better to just say, we launched it today, and that's it. Like Apex
Yeah.
did, which was funny. Um,
How you feel about the launch now, Jalen? Now that you actually got to play it.
Shoot, I mean, I don't. I still think it was. I was literally talking to one of my coworkers today about Overwatch 2 launch. I was just like, I mean, the game is cool, but again, like that launch, it just kind of. I ain't gonna say it set the tone and stuff like that, but it did set a tone for a certain period of time. So, um, I don't know. I don't. I mean, I was saying, like the game is a solid game. Like we know they not gonna miss with the gameplay and stuff like that. Because I mean, they ain't do much anyway. Like, well, I ain't gonna take that away from them. Like, they probably did a lot with balancing and stuff like that. But the game foundation was already there because they just kind of switched Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 per se.
Yep.
But the overall like launch and stuff like that, it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So, but I mean, it's like I said, they can make up for that. It's not something that the game is just like cooked at this point or nothing like that. It's just, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of got to get that bad taste out of people's mouth or whatever. So, but apparently, like we had mentioned this week and last week, that a lot of free to play multiplayer games and stuff like that, they ain't really seeing like a good launch from any of them games. So, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I just thought they could do something just a little bit different, being a big studio that they is with them only work. I ain't gonna say they only work on multiplayer games, but them they hits though. So and they missing. So I just and I ain't have my ass, man. Come on, let's talk about it. Bro. I'm sorry, I blame them. I'm being sorry, man. I don't blame myself for not playing Overwatch for 6 months, bro. I blame them because I couldn't play Overwatch with Ash for a week, bro. What? Pretty far.
Yeah, that is yeah, that is the feeling. I feel the same way. I feel like it tainted it. I feel like it made it a bad situation for a good game. So but yeah, that's kind of what my thoughts were on Overwatch 2. Anything to add before we move on?
No, I mean, we mentioned it briefly that it's just an update or, to the original game, but have y'all felt any significant difference? Because I know, like, Jalen, you played it a lot, and Deontay, you played it a lot too, but you didn't play it as much as us because you didn't like it. Does anything feel different that is significant so far?
Nah, just me. I feel different now about role playing games. I feel that I can find more enjoyment in them. Um, I just feel different about the. I guess it's a reset because the toxic nature of that game was always there. The reset is allowing me to get in at the beginning and see if that's something that I can grow accustomed to just play the game and not really care about like being the best at everything. Like I want to have a decent character in each class, and I know you said you want to really want to play with them all, but at really I don't feel. I feel. It does feel like there's sometimes they're forcing you to do things, but right now, while everybody is on and trying to play, it doesn't feel as competitive as it used to, where it was just we were playing with the people that really wanted to play Overwatch. Right now, we're playing with people that wanted to play Overwatch and the people that wanted to play with their friends, which gives me a lot of room. It's like a margin of error right now of ability to play how you want to play in certain degrees. And once that margin of error shrinks to the point where I have to play a certain role or a certain character to overcome this character, that's when I'm going to hate it again. So right now we're reset. Margin of error is pretty high. I feel like we can play with a really it's a broad list of characters, and it doesn't feel as if we're powerless. But once it starts to shrink and the player level and the competitiveness comes to that, I think I'm gonna hate it again. But right now, I like it. I guess that's how I say it.
No, that's fair. And I think being free to play might help that over time because at least the people jumping in might always be like more fresh or at least more casual. Because even with like Apex, I feel like we do run into like the people who are really, really like crazy about the game. But
Yeah,
whenever the new updates come out, you feel like, well, it depends. Like obviously they gonna vary with your skill level, but when the new updates come out, more casual people come in and play, and it helps even it out for a bit.
Yeah, and you know, Apex has a very dopamine type of effect where if you're getting trashed like multiple times, they'll put you in like a worse lobby and make you feel good, and then they'll put you in a medium lobby, then they put you back into them with them hitters. So it's like this thing where they kind of keep you on a string to keep playing.
Hmm.
Versus Overwatch, they're gonna just keep they. I don't know how their matchmaking works, to be honest, but
Honestly, I don't think they give you pity matches. Like I don't feel it.
okay. So
because it's like it's a mixed matchmaking where, let's say, I'm the top level ELO or whatever.
mm,
They'll put somebody who's like pretty low in there to balance it out, but
right.
it really just depends. Like if I quit the game, they're gonna pick the closest person available.
And with them balancing all the characters, that also allows, maybe that's the margin of error that I'm now feeling, where everybody is valuable in a different way, and you don't have to say this is a direct counter to this person. You know, maybe they
Yeah,
did
it is a
balance
bit
it.
less of that.
Maybe it did balance it enough to make me feel better about it, and it never becomes a gap for the actual, you know, level of skill. Maybe everybody is just going to be a little bit more valuable, and that it causes it to feel more refreshing and varied. You're not going to run up against the same person if you're playing someone because they're a direct counter. You know, so. Anything on that, Jalen? Does it feel different? Does Ash bomb go off crazier?
Nah, man. Like Josh said, like I mean, that don't really feel. I guess I ain't never really played with y'all to understand like how the matchmaking stuff work. But I mean, like that made we came across yesterday. I'm like, man, you some dogs, bro. What's going on here? We losing like 3 in a row.
Yeah,
So, but nah, it ain't. I don't feel anything like significantly different. So, it's just kind of getting acclimated to like people moves and how they do different things. Like Arissa been able to kill people that are special and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just
yeah.
well, that's different. So Josh I got quiet on this when we was playing yesterday. He like, man, oh sorry, bro. Like, you know, my team.
Oh
I'm like,
I
man.
mean,
that feels so
honestly,
destiny,
like
bro.
Overwatch do make you like toxic. Like, man, this Ash trash. Like, who is that? Oh, that's Jalen Ember.
I'm like, man, he ain't gave us this treatment since Destiny when we were sorry, bro. You get quiet on.
Hey man, how are you gonna
But
get
yeah,
better if
no,
we
it's
don't
just a weird
play?
game because you can like they expect you or like want you to switch, so it like makes you judge your teammates more. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not even that I'm judging y'all. It's just like I'm trying to figure out like how we like who is killing us. I feel like it was like a Genji or something. Like how we get around this Genji because I'm Zenyatta and I can't kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
Soldier
think it's
76.
yeah, I think it's better.
Yeah,
I think
or that Hanzo too.
yeah, Hanzo was
Yeah,
going
Hanzo was,
nuts.
man, he was in
Um,
there clapping us. Bro. I'm like, dang. I'm like, dang.
but I don't think that the switch is necessary. I think your skill level and sticking with your team has to become better. Like
Yeah, like
they
I
all,
agree.
yeah, I think that we are so used to playing games geared towards go kill the next person if you win that fight. But these fights now in this one Overwatch, they are so much more impactful than the fights that I used to have in Overwatch. Like if I die, it's a problem. Like so being able to work off that life, have better cohesion between the team, that's all I care about at this point. Like I want to make sure if I'm playing a healer, I'm healing. I'm not trying to be DPS god. I'm trying to be someone that is healing. That's why I love Lucio because he is the best healer in my opinion to also stay alive and keep the team alive. I know that there's other ones that if you got a skill level that you can meet, they are great, but most of the time people get so caught up in trying to do other things that they don't realize that they're missing the point of a healer. So
Yeah.
Mercy and Lucio are still the greatest to me, but I get it. everybody is valuable. That is what I want to make sure. That's what I want Overwatch to make sure they put at the forefront of this game, is that everybody is valuable and that everybody is balanced enough to make sure your team is winning. It's just really those key points of stay with your team, make sure you're not jumping out the gun, trying to take on a tank, understand who you're fighting and how they're fighting, and really just kind of reading this team better. Like, that is it. I don't think I ever felt like I haven't felt like I needed to change yet. I just felt like I needed to get better at the game. Like, I don't think I had to change a character. Like, oh, I need to change it because you suck with him too. Whatever the case may be,
it definitely
it's like
requires
more skill. I just feel like it has more skill and more cohesion with your team. And I think us obviously being on comms, we can call out stuff better. We just don't. We're just playing it right now to get a feel of the game. And that's fine because I want to enjoy it for that. Once we get to a point where we want to win all the time and we're playing to win, but that comes with time and actually enjoying the game, playing it together. So we got to get some wins.
Yeah, of all the
first.
games we played, this is the most like team work required. Because like I said, if I'm Zenyatta and I'm getting killed by a soldier, it's in any other game, I just got to get better at killing them. But in this game, I have to rely on my teammates for certain things. Like I can't kill him, so somebody come help me.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Like, you have to play off your teammates, understand who you're around, who's alive, who's up. When they say group up, really like figure out where the group is and like not stray off trying to kill off that one individual that may try to push the team and get spanked. So you might as well wait, come back with the team, they push, they'll get spanked. So it's like those types of situations where we are starting to get better at just understanding what we're playing. Yeah, obviously y'all played this a lot longer than I, but I am starting to get a grasp of truly how to fight characters and how to when to fight, when to retreat, when it makes sense. If you see, like, really look at the kill feed, because the kill feed tells you how many people in your team are up. Like, I'm trying to heal everybody and like everybody's dead, so maybe I should fall back, play the backside, be able to see my team in its totality, and see their health bars, and then maybe Lucio special to keep everybody alive, and things like that. But that comes with time, and as we play and continue to play, and I don't think I'm gonna play that game alone, but I do know I'm gonna play with y'all, and if I do play alone, it's probably going to be a one character owner type of situation, because I don't really want to. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't feel like that game is fun on its with just myself, but I could be, just looking at it from a different, space. But yeah, we'll get there.
I already know what so certain characters I shouldn't go. I should not be fighting no Sombra. I should be fighting no Genji.
Mm-hmm.
I should be fighting no Zarya. I'm like, there's a couple of characters. I'm like, hey, look, man, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Like, I want zero smoke with you unless my boys here. If they not here, I don't want to fight you. I ain't fighting no Tracer.
Yeah.
Like, because there's just certain characters they there to harass you, especially like Sombra, Genji, and Tracer. They literally there to harass you.
Especially Sombra. Like, if I see a Zenyatta by himself, I'm gonna kill him and I'm gonna run to his spawn. I'm gonna just stand outside the spawn for the next 5 minutes, kill him until he switch. So
yeah. But that one Zenyatta was going against, that dude was a dog, low key. He knew what he was doing with him. I'm like, man, all right, bro. I see how you coming, big dog. But it's some characters like you can go against the May. You just got to know what you're doing, especially this is a good one, because May can take out almost all your health with the little icicle thing. But if it's a Sombra, I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, I ain't trying to fight you. Like, so when I know a Sombra on the field, I'm like, I'm not venturing off by myself. Like, I'm like, where my boys at? Because she gonna hack me and I'm gonna get cooked. Like, I'm not doing that. So same thing with Genji, same thing with Tracer. Like, Tracer, you can kind of manage, especially if they don't know how to do their rewind. You can anticipate that, but what a time we on the field. Like, I don't even want to fight you, dog. What you here for? I don't want to fight.
Yeah. Well, Well, we do have to move on because I want to make sure we get to these topics. But yeah, Overwatch 2 is going to be a recurring topic for us because we playing it actually. So, but the next thing I wanted to talk about, and I think we can, uh, yeah, let's go here first. So, Call of Duty is pushing to get people to play their campaign. Um, they want the multiplayer to be tied to it in a lot of ways, but they want it to where there's a lot of unlockables you get for playing the campaign. Um, and there's like a lot of rewards that you get that you can use in the multiplayer for playing the campaign, like operators, weapon blueprints, emblems, double weapon XP. You get all this for finishing the campaign, right? Um, well, I guess when you used to play Call of Duty, did you ever engage in the campaign like often, or just one done?
Yeah, man, I used to play Commander Shepard, bro. I mean, not Commander Shepard, General Shepard. There we go. Yeah, man, you ain't like when General
Yeah.
Shepard bro
But
could
was that
ghost
when
and
you
rope.
had less games to play? Like it was it out of did you truly enjoy the game campaign?
Yeah, I'm
It
like,
depends on
I
the Call of
did.
Duty. Like Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, I played the campaign a lot. Like I beat them both on like the hardest difficulty, just because. I mean, when I was young and that was the game I had, so I was gonna play that game. But I found it fun trying to do the challenge because
Hmm.
I was really good at the multiplayer and I wanted to see how my skills can translate to the single player, whatever. Other Call of Duty games, not really. It depends. Like if I enjoy the campaign, and for a lot of them, I don't actually enjoy the campaign. It's kind of just like a time waster. So that's the first point. Like the last campaign that I enjoyed was probably Modern Warfare 2. I liked Black Ops 1 a bit because it was interesting, but I don't actually remember the levels. Like I don't think I actually want to replay the levels.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
I can agree with that. Like
I know they're planning.
Black.
Hmm. Go ahead. Sorry.
Nah, I just gonna say Black Ops 1. I do think was interesting. I'm not gonna say I replayed the levels. I think the one that I mainly played was probably Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, trying to shoot Zakayev, shoot his arm off, General Shepard. Like, it was stuff with Reznov on Black Ops 1, but it just wasn't. I mean, it hit, but it just, I don't know, man. It just, I ain't even play Modern Warfare 3 campaign. Like, that's how much I got, like, detracted from the campaign. So it wasn't, I think when you get older and stuff like that, it's just a whole bunch of, I was playing on Xbox, L trigger, R trigger, because of, like, snap onto the enemies that you got to shoot. So it just kind of, like you said, it was a time waster. It was, you probably can turn that off, but you can literally just tap L trigger and just lock on to different people for you. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It just kind of
I will say for the Modern Warfare 2019, I was I was looking up like prices of the game because I wanted to try it, like see what the campaign was about. Just because like I know it's not the same story, but at least I'm familiar with the setting and the characters, so
Hmm.
I could compare it to what I played before. But like realistically, I never bought it because the stories don't matter. It's just sometimes they have like cool moments, but I don't think most people care. So them putting some stuff in the single player might be good because I mean it who's to say that you won't enjoy the campaign? It's just they're like 6-7 hours long and you just kind of just want to get straight to the multiplayer.
Gotcha. Yeah, the cool thing about this is that they're also doing you can also play the campaign early. So long as you have the digital pre-order though. So you can't get the physical, but you do get early access to the campaign. So that means day one you can jump into the multiplayer with your unlocks, or you can just experience the campaign without having to feel like, oh, I just want to jump into the multiplayer quickly, because most people are going to say, I'm not going to play the campaign while everybody's playing multiplayer. I want to play the multiplayer. So it's two things that have happened in the pre-order bonus where you can play the campaign early. I think that's important to note And then it's also the rewards. That means that they are putting money and investing time into getting you to play their campaign. I would hope it'd be good. So I am one that's going to pre-order it, and I'm going to play the game early because I'm, like I said, I already said I was going to buy it because I'm just over Apex and that much that I'd rather play other shooters at this point. So I am going to buy that, and I'm going to try it, but I think I'm not interested in the campaign. That's not what I'm in. I'm not, but I am intrigued on whether or not this will get me involved in the campaign, because obviously, hopefully this thing is only like 8 to 9 hours. I can get through it quickly, and I can do it in the early week so that I don't have to worry about it when I'm starting the multiplayer, and I can have like extra rewards or whatever so that I can level up my stuff sooner, because they give you like 60-minute bonus double XP tokens and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's a good move, but it could be it could cause people to be a little upset. I mean, obviously you got to digitally pre-order it in order to get the early access, but then once you do that, it's like you're getting a head start. But I mean, that's what you usually pay for in games like this. It's a head start. It's not I can't achieve it. You just gotta wait a little bit longer. So, but yeah, what do you guys think about games that do come with multiplayer, providing this early access option? Do you think that would help engage the early access more? Because I don't even know what other games that are big like this that has a campaign and a multiplayer, that the multiplayer almost outweighs the campaign. Like, I don't really know. Like story mode, because
it's not many left. Because like I would say Halo, but nowadays it's not as big as it used to be. Like Call of Duty, Battlefield, the last couple of games they haven't even had a campaign.
Right.
And like super competitive shooters like Rainbow Six don't even have one. So I think they're going away. Call of Duty is probably like the last big one.
Yeah.
Which is good. I think they should still make it because there are people that enjoy it, and you get more for your money because they're not going to lower the price of the game if they remove the campaign. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought it was pretty intriguing because
Apex needed a campaign.
Well, yeah. Destiny's campaign, like I said, I've beaten the Witch Queen one, and I thought it was really good. I thought it was challenging too because I played on the legendary difficulty, and I never usually have a hard time going through the campaign. This one was giving me a little run for my money. I had to put my little thinking cap on and try to survive, and it didn't feel like it was just overly punishing. It just felt like you had to be more conscious of what you were actually doing. And that's what I liked about that campaign. So as long as they're hitting something, because I've bought the last 3, I bought Black Ops 4. No, I didn't buy Black Ops 4. I bought Cold War. I bought Modern Warfare. And that's it. I bought those 2. I never beat the campaigns on either. And this is the first one I'm going to actually give it a fair try. And that's simply because they gave me early access, or at least gave me the ability to have early access. So I think that's a cool feature. I just don't think it's going to be something that's pushed through the rest of the industry because, as you stated, nobody's really doing campaigns anymore. It's really like a dying thing. And they want you to play this one because they spent a lot of money on it, it seemed like anyway. So hopefully it's actually decent. But yeah, Call of Duty gonna be dutying. That's all there is to it. But Nvidia is unlaunching a card. That's never happened before. They are taking away the 4080 12 gig version. They said because it just wasn't named right. I said, bruh, you had so much backlash because this card was literally not the same It was not just a difference in RAM. You called it a 4080 when you knew you should have called it a 4070 and dropped the price like $300. You didn't do that though. So Nvidia got caught with their pants down as usual in some degree, and now they're trying to right their wrongs. I feel like they know something coming with AMD, and they're getting a little nervous. But right now, yeah, it just seemed like it was more of a we got spanked. It's time to fix our problem. Like that was it. It's not like they wanted to do this. They tried to trick you. They tried to make you feel like, and I don't know how they're going to trick the most technical space in the world when it comes to anything, graphics card processing, all these like metrics and things that they do, like the actual community behind this stuff. They are like the most technical people out there. Why would you think that would work? So it just didn't make any sense. So yeah, the 4080, if you did not know, was a graphics card that was recently announced with the 4080 16 gig and the 4090 RTX cards. This is the 4000 series cards from Nvidia. These graphics cards are very powerful. The 4090 had a lot of stuff happening and a lot of things that were just recently announced and are recently released, like reviews and stuff like that. And the thing is very powerful. Like ray tracing is off the chain. The DLSS 3 is really, really good. There's a lot of good things happening at Nvidia, but there was this big stain on their record due to this 12 gig 480. This 12 gig 480, it was a very underpowered and like cuticores and like everything when it came to this card. Like this 12 gig version, it was a 4080, but the 4080 16 gig version was like on paper already showed that it was just not the same card. Like the silicon was just different. So everybody was wondering like, well, why they call it a 4080 if it's not the same card? It's 12 gigs versus 16 gigs, but the silicone underneath that, power and everything, isn't the same. Like they're totally different things. So people started questioning it. Backlash began to occur. Nvidia, after 2 weeks, I believe it's been 2 weeks, they have decided to, and I quote, we decided to unlaunch the 412 gig 4080 because it wasn't named right. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's what they said. It's because it wasn't named right.
Yeah.
To that I say, you're idiots. But yeah.
I think, of course, like you mentioned, they're the market leader, and whenever market leaders come up, they try to get over every now and then. I don't think it was smart, like, because PC gamers are the most picky people in the world.
Yes.
They'll wait 10 years before they upgrade their card until they find the perfect one. So it was kind of like a I guess misthought out plan to just like put it out there and see if people get it. Yeah. But at the same time, they are launching one of the best cards this year. AMD can still come out with some good, but the card is very powerful. They can back it up. But it was just a dumb move, and I think people will eventually like get over it. But yeah, I don't know what the actual plan was.
Me neither. And I'm glad they kind of got caught out, and they had to. The funniest part is that they're unlaunching something. Like I've never seen it where they're not going to launch it and they're not going to give it another date. They said they're going to just basically change it. So what this card will be, and everybody's going to find out very, very like soon, and like next year, first quarter, second quarter, this is going to be the 4070. It might be a 4070 Ti. But this is the card that was supposed to come out. That was the budget-friendly card. And what's going to happen is that people are going to be able to, match the specs. It was rebranded as such. This is literally them just trying to oversell a card. Not saying that the card was terrible, not saying the performance was bad. I am literally saying that they attempted to sell a lesser powered card for a higher price and tried to pretend as if it matched the 16 gig 4080 performance. Regardless of what you think about, Nvidia or anything like that, that is manipulation at its finest, and they should be held accountable for it, but they're not. So they just unlaunched it, which is, that's the worst. That's the best case scenario. People aren't being duped at the store. Like, people aren't like, well, I'll just get the 4080 because it's a little bit cheaper. I get the 12 gig versus the 16 gig, not realizing that they're getting a whole different card. So I guess this is the best outcome, because you can't undo what you did, but you can at least not try to trick people further at the store. So yeah, that's the news on Nvidia. It's it's overshadowed from all the special and it's like cool things that they're doing with the 4090 and DLSS 3. It's all being overshadowed by this. So they did that. Next thing I wanted to talk about was the Xbox and PlayStation back and forth. Did you guys see that? Did you see the back and forth between these giant companies?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay. Well, let me refresh this here. So, these are some of the reasons. Microsoft basically wasn't happy with PlayStation doing a lot of the whole, well, we feel as if your guys are trying to diminish our sales or our I think they said that they're trying to, when they take that product away, it's going to be damning to their ability to sell the console. Like, this one game is going to hurt them so much. So they kept saying and reiterating that. So a lot of, Xbox's return and like conversation, or at least their rebuttals, were steered around that. So some of the things that they have addressed, or at least said publicly now, is that Sony, PlayStation, so these are some of the things that they are concerned for the following reasons, that they are misplaced concerns, essentially. Sony PlayStation has been the largest console platform for over 20 years. And this is Microsoft talking to CMA, like to the, I forget the name of the freaking people that's doing the.
Yeah, it's just the European, United Kingdom board or whatever who are reviewing this.
Yeah, UK CMA regulators. Sony PlayStation has been the largest console platform for over 20 years with an installed base of over 150 million consoles, making it larger than Nintendo and more than double the size of Xbox. So they already admitted. They admitted to that. Basically, they're not doing like anywhere near the numbers of Sony, which we already knew that. Sony engages in conduct today which is reflective of its market power in console gaming, including increasing prices of its console without fear of losing market share. Everybody knew this. Like, they're selling bundles. They're not selling that console alone. They up the price everywhere else outside the US. They essentially have increased the price. And nobody cares because it's Sony. And people are less engaged with like finding them. There's more on the streets now, but that's in the US too. So it's not as if this wasn't like a trickle effect. Like, this is basically what was already happening because people are readily available. They are readily available and people no longer need demand is no longer there with the supply. The suggestion that I'm messing up this word. The incumbent. Oh my God, incumbent. That's
incumbent.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
The session that market leader with a clear and enduring market power could be foreclosed by the third largest provider as a result of losing access to one title is not credible. There are more than 4,000 games available on PlayStation alone. So they're basically reading them what everybody already knows. Like, This ain't gonna hurt you, my guy. The evidence shows that less than a certain percent of PlayStation monthly active users are playing Call of Duty. Even with all of those gamers, a highly improbable outcome from a hypothetical foreclosure strategy, the PlayStation gamer base will remain significantly larger than Xbox today. Since this transaction was announced, Sony has acquired several game studios, including Bungie, developer of the popular online game Destiny 2, Haven Studios, Lesengale, and Savage Games, and a minority interest in From Software, the developer of the biggest game of 2022, Elden Ring, among other hit games. This complements Sony's existing minority shareholding in the Epic Games, publisher of Fortnite, strong first-party game catalog, and extensive portfolio of exclusive arrangements with third-party publishers. There are over 280 exclusive first-party and third-party titles on PlayStation in 2021, nearly 5 times as many as Xbox. Bro, what is
they got the
Sony
receipts.
doing? What is Sony doing, my guy? Like, they know, we all know this. The fact that they had to like write this all down and like get this over to them is hilarious to me, because literally what Sony is trying to portray is that they're the underdog, one, and two, that Call of Duty is going to cause them to have so much anguish in their market. Like, it's not. Y'all are very powerful in your own right. This is not the play. And this is hilarious to me that they even had to do this for something that, you know, for one game. It's not even as if they're talking about all their catalog of Activision. They're talking about one game, Call of Duty. That's hilarious. And and basically Microsoft has some receipts, which is pretty great, because putting it all together like this, it just makes them, what's his name, Jim Ryan, what's his name, yeah, seems more pettier than ever. Like, that's a petty man now. That's real petty. And for them to be doing this type of stuff, trying to slow it up for this, like Call of Duty, I don't know, man. Seem like you're a little reckless.
Yeah. Of course, we ain't lawyers, but the receipts seem pretty clear. Like, the Sony's argument is pretty, like, doesn't make sense, especially like Microsoft said, they're already engaging in the type of stuff that they're complaining about, like purchasing studios and exclusivity and all this stuff.
Yep.
And all that over one title. So I think Microsoft, obviously, they're doing the work. They're doing their best to defend it, and they probably will make a good case. The other thing I saw today is something that the UK board or whatever brought up was the Game Pass situation, where now they're trying to argue, or I don't know if it's them or Sony, they're trying to argue that Game Pass is the game streaming market leader, and that could be a problem because there is no other game streaming service that can compete with Game Pass. And so this acquisition will only make Game Pass stronger. But again, I think Microsoft will just follow up, because some other things that they laid out in it is like, well, how come there are no Xbox titles on other streaming platforms, and stuff like that. And it's not really strong, because there is stuff like, they bought Bethesda and they are on some streaming services, and if there's anything that's not on PlayStation, it's because PlayStation doesn't want it there. Because I'm pretty sure one thing they mentioned is like, Game Pass is not available on competitor platforms. It's like, I'm 100% sure Phil has asked PlayStation to put Game Pass on PlayStation. Yeah.
They could. I mean, it's not like it's not possible. There's plenty of games on there that is cross. Because
Phil would definitely cut a deal like that. Like, they would take less money from the Game Pass in order to get it on the platform, because they believe so strongly in.
Yeah. It's bigger than theirs. It's 2 times bigger than theirs. So it's not like it's like what are we doing here? I just found it very funny, and I found these points to be very potent. And it was like, yeah, they did do that. Yeah, they did do that. Yeah, they do have this. And I was just like, bruh, y'all have all of this stuff, and y'all acting like this, man. Come on, G. Let them do their thing so that we can move past this and get some games. You know, we all like games. That's what can I say? I like games. That's pretty much what we're trying to get to, anyways. But anything on that before we move on?
It sounds like never mind, I'm gonna just keep my comments to myself, man.
Man, nah, man, speak up, boy. You on the air. What you
Nah, I
got
just gonna
to
say
say?
it's not like Sony acting like Nintendo. Like, man, come on, man, just play fair, bro. I mean, they just want
Sony,
stuff they way, bro.
yes. I mean, that's
It ain't Burger King though. Can't have it that way.
nah, that's what they think, man. That's what they think. They want it that way, though, for sure. All right, Gotham Knights. The hits keep on rolling. So 30 FPS, Gotham Knights. They just announced that, yeah, you're not going to be able to. You're not going to have a performance mode, buddy. We're too busy trying to force co-op on you. You can't have you can't have it your way either. I guess they did the Burger King line. So they were in Discord talking about people. People were trying to figure out, okay, are we going to get a 60 frames per second mode for Gotham Knights? Remember my first stance on Gotham Knights? Our stance before was that Gotham Knights was going to be a game that was going to be focused because they marketed that way. And they shipped it, or at least they marketed it that way, and they introduced it that way. So it was, co-op experience, right? This 30 frames per second situation just basically proves I was right, because I kept getting people that were saying I was wrong, that I should think of it as a single player experience. I said that's not how they marketed it, nor is that how they introduced it. This here confirms that their motive and their like the backing behind it, what they want this to be, is a co-op experience, similar to Marvel's Avengers. Not in a similar sense of that much, but yes, like to say that I can't get 60 FPS because you want me to have drop in, drop out co-op, it's alarming, because it feels as if this was a foundationally built upon that co-op experience and not the single player. That tells me that there's not much of a foundation within the game. The story might be okay, but that's it. And the co-op is going to hold itself accountable, because if it's not fun, it's not fun. I mean, that's all I have to say, because I don't want to be. The game ain't came out yet, right? So not too much on Gotham Knights, not too much. But I just want to state that this 30 FPS though, this point right here, this screams, wait for reviews.
Yeah,
do not buy day one.
That was probably the biggest blow to me over all the other stuff, because like I was still interested and like I like the Batman games, and then this, is the next step from that. It has an online focus, which I don't care about, and I don't really actually understand it, because they're just saying like it's seamless and you just walk around the world and like somebody pop up and y'all do a mission together. It's like I don't know if I want that.
We don't want that.
But this is hurts the game for me, at least on console. And even though I could buy it on PC, I kind of, like you said, want to wait, because like, why is it that you can't implement some sort of other performance mode? And like, I know that making games is not easy, and that probably requires a lot of work. But we're 2 years into this generation, and every other game that has come out, yeah, they have their 30 FPS mode, and they, at bare minimum, they give you a unlocked frame rate, lower resolution mode. because people will prefer that. And, maybe you can make optimizations over time and make it better. But it's like, why would you even release your game in this state? Like, I don't know what resolution the game is at, but if it's 4K 30, I don't care because I don't play it at 4K. So, it just seems like a worse product. And I think the game is $70 on, next gen. And they even canceled the PS4 and like previous Xbox versions because they were like, it was just too hard to get it optimized on those systems. So I don't know what is going on with that game. It seems like a mess from its technical standpoint.
It seemed like the game was changed multiple times and that their foundation was built off of a co-op experience, and that foundation cannot be altered in the ways that we think because of how they wanted that experience to go in the beginning. Now that everybody's pushing out, this narrative, it's single player. Bullcrap. That is what they did to appease the people that did not enjoy the initial launch that you experienced, that you showed us. Like, you showed us an experience of co-op experience. You had that tainted Marvel Avengers. You knew what Marvel Avengers did to us. You knew exactly what they did to us before you showed us that trailer. I don't think that trailer came out before Marvel Avengers. Maybe. I don't think so, though. But they know what that was going to do. It was going to put it in a space, and they put it in that space because that's what they were doing. I think they had to re-gear and repurpose it because they weren't getting the traction that they wanted. And now this comes out, tells me for sure that I can skip this game because it's not. I know that they are going to pretend as if they're going to pretend like this is two things, right? They're going to pretend like it's a single player game, and they're going to pretend like it's a co-op game. And the truth of the matter is that it's neither, because you can't have you can't have a lacking co-op experience, and you really can't have a lacking single player experience. So then you're going to be stuck in this middle ground of an Avengers where you just don't know what this experience should be. And it's unfortunate, but I mean, like I said, not too much on them, because if I do too much, all they're going to say is that I'm judging the game before it comes out. But what I will say is that it's not looking great. So, not too much. I ain't going to do that much. I ain't going to do that much. But I will say that Gotham Knights is looking like y'all going to have a rough road ahead of y'all if y'all trying to buy that game.
Yeah.
Anything?
Hopefully it's good, but I'm waiting to see.
Anything good come from out of it yet? Like, have anything you seen that was good? Like, I know you said you liked the bosses, right? Or like maybe you liked the bosses' designs. I know they was doing like a different version of how they're playing, but
honestly, no. Like I liked like the last Batman game I played, Arkham Knight. I thought it was really fun, and at least if they just wanted to continue where that left off, just you got more characters. Like, that's pretty much all I wanted. It's okay to have like some co-op, but it seems like they're going into more of a online service. It's not just co-op. And I don't know. The online service stuff has been trying. I don't know. I know people gonna complain that it's not online service, blah blah blah. The marketing of the game hasn't given me any good impressions, because like I see the characters, they doing cool stuff, but you're just like wandering around the city, and I don't understand what this game is supposed to be. Versus like Arkham Knight, go back to look at any trailer. Like, the trailer's probably 7 years old, and it just gets straight to the point. You're Batman. You go into the city. They got bombs and stuff, and you're trying to save it. And
yeah,
for a Batman game, the story shouldn't be like muddled or confusing.
Yeah, because it's a tag on, and they don't really have like a true seamless story that you all go through, because they're trying to incorporate this co-op multiple character experience, and people just feel like we're crazy, but it's just a small group. I think the majority of the people, and it's going to reflect in their experience, in their sales or day one pickups. It's going to reflect there that it's a confusing game, and the way they market it made it worse. So, but yeah, not too much. I don't want to say. I keep saying that, but then I do too much. But yeah, Gotham Knights out everywhere soon. And you want to pick it up, you want to try it, go right ahead. We just want to make sure we informing the people of what's going on behind the scenes. But yeah, the next thing I wanted to talk about, or the last thing, because we're pretty much out of time, is Battle Pass fatigue. I know Jalen. I know we all tired of it. And I feel like that's what happened to Multiverse. I'm like, what happened to Multiverse? Did we not like it, or is it like I don't want to play that much, or is it like not too much new going on? I don't know. But anyways, Battle Pass fatigue. Everybody is adopting the model. All the modern online games are just adopting this, and it seems as if it's going to be the future, right? Like, this is literally what we're going to expect. A battle pass experience where you get dripped rewards and rewards and more faster track rewards, and then you get like skins and stuff like that. There's a lot of time that every game demands. These games demand a lot of your daily unlocks, daily challenges, daily achievements, things that you have to do and log in daily to receive. I know, Josh, I know you said recently that you had I don't know if you want to repeat it, but Fortnite, you was like you did some things that you could help you with your battle pass. Are we at the point of the fatigue of battle passes? Are we at the peak of I'm over it, or are we still have yet to hit the mountaintop? Where are we? Are we still on the uprise, or are we on descent? Are they descending, uprising, or are we at the peak of the fatigue?
I mean, I think Jalen might feel different because battle passes are a time sink. Like, it's the main way that you play the game. Most of these games don't have any other sort of like progression, or like no other way to just like unlock things, or just get new content. So you got the battle pass, but it requires like a lot of time. And like Multiverses was like a clear like, oh no, they actually want me to play this game all day every day for 2 months to unlock this stuff. And I think 50% of the battle pass like benefit or like argument. Well, I think it's 3 things. One, it should always refund you some money. Like games that don't do that are just being greedy and it's trash. So when Halo didn't do it, Multiverses and Overwatch not giving people money back. And I think it's just garbage because there have been a lot of good examples of games that have done it, and like it is kind of expected, and you're not living up to that example. 2 is what's in the battle pass. Like, is it something actually worthwhile? 90% of the time, no. It's like, you get a little spray or a little sticker, and maybe it's a couple guns. I would say Apex has like, for me, it's 50-50. I don't like the battle pass skins, but sometimes they got some decent guns, or like the stuff at the end is really nice and I want to get it. And then last is like time. Like, most of these games just ask too much of your time, and I feel like I have to do it. Like right now, I'm playing Fortnite and Overwatch. I'm going to try to finish their battle passes. That way, the rest of the season, I don't have to worry about coming in and finishing the battle pass. If I want to play the Halloween event, I can just play the Halloween event. I don't got to worry about, oh, well, I got 10 days left to get 20 levels, because that's the main reason I stopped buying the Apex Battle Pass. It's just too freaking long. And like, even if I play it the last 2 weeks when you got all the boosts available and all the quests, it's like I got to spend all my time doing this. And if I don't finish it, I kind of wasted my money. So I think there could be more innovation in the Battle Pass space, like just how to keep it engaging, how to keep it so you don't waste, like you're not wasting all your time to level up. Y'all know I enjoy Fortnite's. Honestly, it's not too different, other than I think they offer a little bit higher quality stuff in the battle pass than other games, but it's still the same type of grind that you get. So I don't know, but the counter side of that, I don't know what else should be replaced with, other than just the game being like complete and lit, no microtransactions. I don't, because loot boxes I think are worse, even though some people like them.
I do agree that loot boxes are worse. I do feel like the battle pass is a gateway to anxiety and like people feeling like they're gonna FOMO, so they spend money because every one of these, and I'm sure Overwatch 2, you can buy a tier, you can buy a level, right?
Mhm.
I'm not sure in Fortnite. Can you buy levels?
Yeah, you can buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the time, you can spend the money to up a level, right? And as these battle passes continue to come out, they get less rewarding and more time consuming. Multiverses was a very damning for me. It was like, no, I'm not wasting my time on this. I don't care. That's why I kept saying, if I can get to the end, I'll buy it. But I don't think I will. Especially with the decline and how much we have started playing it. Even though I still find it to be an enjoyable game, Smash Bros. And like fighter games, they always have like a very high and alarming game. And day one engagement, week 2, week 3, week 4. It's really hard to get a buy-in where people are just constantly coming back. You can always add new characters and make it refreshing, but at the same time, if you're only playing one person, sometimes it's just not enough to keep everyone engaged. I find that Multiverse's formula of gameplay loop is sufficient. I just haven't had time to play it again. Like, there's plenty of times where I wanted to cut it on and do my LeBron James moves, do some under the leg dunks, but just haven't had the time. But then there is games like there's changes being made, but then there's also games like Halo Infinite, where they allow you to go back a season and level up an old pass. Like they're removing the FOMO, fear of missing out, but then it's like the least priority thing. It's like one of those low tasks. If you ever worked in tech or tech support, it's one of those low tasks. It's like it's way at the bottom. I don't care because I can get around to it whenever, right? So there is this engagement loop that you want to have, but you don't want people to feel as if they are punished for not checking in a day, and you have to pay to catch up, right? And then you don't want them to feel as if there's a super benefit for paying for like what Apex did when they said 9 battle royale versus battle royale, and like they gave you the option to do either or, like the change to that alone significantly increased my ability to level that pass. I haven't played it in a while, and I'm at 60. I haven't played that game like at all during this season, and I'm at 60. So it does help, but I just think, are the changes coming too slow? Or do we just have a distaste for battle passes for what they try to invigorate in you? Like they try to rev you up, give you anxiety that you're going to miss out. Not anxiety, but it's going to give you that fear of missing out experience, and it's going to make you feel as if you're losing something if you don't give it your time, or if you don't buy it outright with your money and just level the pass. There's a sweet line with that. And first thing I want to talk about is just that experience for you, Jalen, and then So I know you don't really engage with the battle passes that often. Only on games you really enjoy, and even when then you're not like that impressed. But let me let you speak to that first. For your missing out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of knew about the fear of missing out with a battle pass, but not really thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't. You want me to just speak to that, or you want me to speak to battle pass entirely from my standpoint?
Let's speak to first to the fear of missing out because I know we kind of know your stance. You're not the cosmetic guy, right? Uh, but I would like to hear. Have you ever felt FOMO for anything?
I have felt FOMO for anything in general, yes, and I have felt it for the battle pass, but because sometimes battle passes be so long or they take a large amount of time or something like that, I just bite that bullet, be like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, y'all got me messed up. And then on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
not only not leveling up the battle pass to like its full capacity so I can get, that last skin or whatever it's supposed to be at the end of the battle pass. Sometimes I miss out because I just won't even buy the battle pass. Like I want something, but like it might be like, let's just say it's level 50 for like the premium version. I won't even get to level 50 on like the regular version, and I can just go buy the premium version and give me everything. So I just be kind of like, well, I might miss out on this, but it's just gonna take too much time for me to get up there. So like, it's kind of OB for that anyway. So like, I mean, I guess I ain't getting it. So I just bite that bullet. I mean, if I got to be BBQ chicken and not have that skin or whatever, I'd be the jerk with the warrior.
Yeah. All right. Well, what made you intrigued in Overwatch's battle pass? It's simply because
Well,
you enjoy the game.
to be honest with you, I know y'all said y'all like loot boxes like more than like battle passes and stuff. I think I heard a comment like that. Personally, something like for me, I don't really like how do I put it? I think battle passes is cool. Like, you gain something and stuff like that. Maybe the progression might be just a little bit faster against loot boxes, but the loot boxes add that variability where you can go get that legendary scan or XYZ. Like, it's up for grabs potentially. You like, all right, that's cool. So it's kind of like it's like a gamble. It's like you either get what you want or you don't get nothing at all. I mean, you'll get something still from the loot box, but at least with the battle pass, you get it. I just don't like that the devs gonna dictate what you gonna get at the end of the season or at the end of the battle pass, those sorts of things, because that can kind of deter you or sway you. Of course, they come with little things in the interim, like coins and all that type of stuff, where you can go use it. But I think we had talked about this last week that specifically with Overwatch, you're not gonna get enough like coins or whatever with the battle pass to go buy something anyway. So you have to either A, spend a lot of time and a lot of seasons and stuff before you can go buy something, or B, you can just go buy it like outright or whatever. At least with the loot boxes and things like that, you had that chance of potentially getting something different. You had that possible of getting something random and versus going out and seeing somebody in a match that you playing, like, oh, they completed the battle pass. Look what they got. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just
Yeah, they
you
should
can
have.
already kind of gauge that.
Yeah, they should have really just ate Apex lunch. Like they should have just copied them. I would have appreciated that more because then I get a level and I can level up and I get like 600 or so coins and then I get a pack, right? I really didn't have I don't mind loot boxes. I don't. I just I not I, and I want to correct it. I don't like the loot box system over the battle pass system. I don't think neither one of us did. I think we were just saying that loot boxes are a little detrimental because they're gambling, right? Apex packs and the battle pass coupled together to allow you to save up things to buy something you want is a much better experience than not being rewarded for the stuff you're doing in game and just getting a battle pass, earned. And it's only 80 levels. And once you're done with that battle pass, there's no time for you to there's no ability for you to earn something. And I mean, obviously they try to supplement it with the XP, but that's not an engaging system. Like fundamentally, even though I hate Apex's system, it's probably the most it's the least boring one because at least if you got a random Apex pack, you can get a legendary out of it sometimes, but you don't have to pay for it. And if you do want to pay for it, they have a section for that. But maybe even Overwatch's stance would be, we can give you free stuff in loot boxes. You cannot pay for loot boxes, though. You only can earn them by playing the game. That is a system that I can get behind, because it allows me to have an achievable goal, that dopamine effect of, okay, what can I get? What can I get? But I can't spend any real money. And that one solves the issue that they were having that was plaguing them, that loot boxes were trash. And it allows them to kind of get the people to fear of missing out on the battle pass, because that is where they're going to hold their non-purchasable items. Like, I understand it. And as Apex started to refine theirs, it became easier for me to level it without feeling like I have to play daily. Like, I can literally jump into that game 2 weeks before it's finna end because they unlock all the weekly challenges. And there is a very simple way for you to go through that game and get everything done you needed to, right? Overwatch has enough modes and systems to do the same thing. And that's why I say they should have ate their lunch. But I don't want to say that this is like one better than the other. Fatigue is still strong in both. You can get tired of it. You can get annoyed with doing the same thing over and over for minimal rewards. I just know Apex gives you your money back that you put in, and it allows you a free track to get packs. So I've been more comfortable playing Apexes and buying into their system more because of those reasons than I would ever anywhere else. And I'm not saying that they're perfect. I'm never going to say they're perfect because, like I said, they have like very expensive skins and things like that. But they have decided to stop the fear of missing out on their skins that they sell. So you don't have to feel worried like, oh, this launch pack for Valkyrie just dropped. Valkyrie just dropped. Should I buy it or should I wait? And you can wait because it's going to come back to the store at some point. And that's where it becomes a healthier experience for the person that's going to buy stuff anyway. Because I don't have that fear of missing out no more, because those things that it used to do in season 1 through 7 or 1 through 5, maybe CF7, you no longer do. Like, there's no exclusivity outside of the battle pass. So I enjoy being able to know that is the case, even though people hate it because they're like, well, we want exclusive skins that nobody else got. But truly all you're doing is you're gatekeeping, you spending your money. Like, let people spend their money on the things they like. So as long as they can do that, if they can push that across the board, I think Fortnite is very similar in that way, Josh, right?
In what? I'm sorry.
In the space of providing a way to earn and buy rewards in a quick way. Like, you can use in-game currency. I would think you can. I'm not sure. Fortnite, does it have like a interlocking system like Apex where you can earn like crafting medals and craft something, or no?
No, there is no crafting in Fortnite. The main thing is that the battle pass gives you more money than it costs to buy the battle pass. So the battle pass is $10, and if you buy it, it gives you 15. So as long as you like continuously playing, you're gonna like keep accumulating money.
Gotcha.
But at the end of the day, they still expect you to, they put something in the store to buy it because there's no crafting or loot boxes yet.
That might be a good topic. Who has the best system for that? Yeah, I get you though, Jalen. It is a lot of fatigue out there, and I don't really know what's the best solution for it. And it's hard to say one is doing right and one is doing something wrong. And I know Halo tried to come out the gate swinging as if they were going to be the the champion of this, but obviously that fell flat.
It was a good idea, but the Battle Pass was not good,
Yeah.
so it didn't matter.
Yeah, it fell flat, and I don't want that to be the sentiment that, oh, because we didn't do these things that's why it fell flat. No, it didn't. Y'all didn't win because y'all didn't want to win. Y'all were very lax on your experience. Y'all were very lax on the modes, maps, and everything, and it showed when the people stopped playing it. It's not a bad game though, but yeah, I think we can have this topic again because there's going to be another game that comes out. And it's going to probably have a crap battle pass or system, and we can talk about it because it is a lot of that out there. But that is pretty much it. I didn't want to. We went over a little bit on time, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Any final things before we go, Jalen or Josh? Anything you want to tell the people before we get up out of here? You know me, don't drink and drive. That's mine.
Yeah. Make sure y'all ain't pre-ordering no WB games. Something to say.
Yeah. I feel kind of strange pre-ordering a Call of Duty game, but it's happening. Well, all right. Well, I want to thank you guys for listening as always. If you want to find this, you can find it on wherever you hold your podcast, Spotify, Google, Apple, wherever you name it, we're there. If you want to check out some clips of this, you can also find it on my BCD Universe page, my YouTube channel. If you want to check it out there, I'll also talk about other stuff, but that is where you'll find some clips. And I want to thank you guys for listening as always. And we will talk to you guys next week. Peace.